my music elective and piano students to Germany to first of all show them some real pianos and not this electric stuff. I wanted to show them a real symphony orchestra and let them experience how a symphony orchestra really sounds when you sit in front of it and not in front of loudspeakers.
My impression of the music trip to Germany that ASI recently took was, of course, fantastic.
Yeah, I think it was a great trip. I enjoyed it very much, and I was happy to observe that the students liked it too. Like, I didn't expect that everyone would fall in love with opera or with classical music, but I think taking the time to sit for 3 hours in an opera house and to sit for 2 hours in a concert and take the time, you have no chance to move somewhere else, you have to sit in your chair. Of course, a few people fell asleep, but I helped them to wake up. But I think going through this situation was a nice experience for the students because they trained their listening skills and they certainly could observe how a symphony orchestra works and how the organization between a conductor and the several groups of a symphony orchestra work. I was pretty impressed by the maturity of the students because they were able to walk around Cologne 2 hours, even 3 hours alone, and I really didn't expect that because it's a big city and if you don't have a good sense of orientation you might get lost, but they did really well and I'm very happy about that.
For me, it was wonderful for our students to experience culture. Of course, cultural exchange is a very important component of development of oneself, and I think it was just fantastic to see our students interact in that capacity.
On the second day, we went to the same concert house that we were the evening before, the Philharmonie Köln, but this time we were there in the morning to see WDR Symphonieorchestra, which is the symphony orchestra of the local radio station, and we were observing them during their rehearsals. We spent half an hour with Mr. Adamski and then we went into the huge concert hall where we could observe the symphony orchestra rehearsing. Then we took the car and we went to Düsseldorf, 30 kilometers from Cologne. And over there we had the chance to visit the opera house. So we had a lady showing us, first of all, the costume department of the opera house, which had about over 40,000 different costumes, which were all handmade. We saw a whole shoe department and a whole hat department, and she showed us how the stage in the opera is able to move. Then the students had some time to discover the old city of Düsseldorf, and Chihab and Marwan fell in love with German fries. On Saturday, I had a hard time to get everyone out of bed because opera made certainly very sleepy. But we had to be in front of the huge Cologne Cathedral at 10 o'clock. We made it there and we had a tourist guide who showed us around. We went through the cathedral and she showed us some ancient Roman mosaics. She told us the story about the famous goat of the first FC Köln, the soccer club. After this guided tour, The student had the permission to walk around for 2 hours alone. In the evening, we met again for the last concert, which was the concert of the orchestra of the local radio station that we heard rehearsing the day before. They played some Finnish songs with a very expressive Finnish soprano. After the concert, I went to have some really nice pasta with the students, which I really enjoyed. And then we went to sleep, and the next day we already took the airplane back to Morocco. I really want to make this kind of trip to discover classical music in Germany or even in other European countries again and again with my future elective classes and piano classes, because for me it's not about falling in love with classical music. That's not the idea I have when I bring students over there. What I want everyone to observe is how this organization of the symphony orchestra works, because you can use this as an image or a metaphor for any organization that you can imagine, because you have a huge group of people that are following a plan, like their music score. All of them have a plan in front of them. They rehearse, they practice, and when they meet together, the goal is that they perform in perfect harmony. This is only possible because they have a conductor in front, which is the leader or the boss or the chef. I wish that this is something that all students can observe, because observing it in a concert or in a rehearsal is the most beautiful way to see and understand. And yeah, I hope I can take many students on this trip in the future.
Of course, Germany itself was very beautiful, and the people were very kind, and it just was, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, a perfect 10. The most special part of the trip for me was when our students got to go backstage to speak with the musicians from the Cologne Orchestra and, you know, really get to talk to them about what they do and what their jobs are.
What I liked about Germany was the people that were wearing costumes and they were letting us take pictures with them. Also, what I liked is that opera played in Düsseldorf. That's the most thing I liked, the most important to me.
So if I had to choose between whether I'm going to see a symphony orchestra again or an opera, I would definitely say symphony orchestra, because during the performance there were just moments where I just couldn't take my eyes off of what was going on, and it was great.
So the trip to Germany was a very good experience to me. I really enjoyed the trip, and also I liked how the cities were so beautiful and clean, and also the people were very organized.
Okay, so the most impressive thing that was for me in Germany was when we heard Eroica in the Sinfonieorchester, because we basically studied about it during class, and when I saw it in live, it was really amazing and impressive, and that was the best thing I liked during the trip.
Germany was a nice trip. I really enjoyed it. I wouldn't mind going in another trip similar to it. We learned a lot of stuff from going to operas and orchestra halls. It's a really beautiful country. It's different from Morocco. The people there are very welcoming and organized. And I really hope we organize another trip like this.
Mr. Dukes did just such a fantastic job of organizing our time, and literally every minute was accounted for. I've never been so tired in my life on a trip. But yeah, I don't have anything but nice things to say, and I'm just so proud of our students for being so mature and responsible and embracing the moment.